Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vedana Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। श्री मथुरा धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। यमुना माई की जय। गंगा माई की जय। Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Was it 14 today? Okay, 14. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 14, entitled The Process of Creation. Word for word. Namo Namas Te Astu Rishabhaya Sattvatam Vidura Kashtaya Muhuhu Kuyoginam Nirasta Samyatishayena Radhasha Swa Dhamani Ramani Rangsyate Namaha. Namo namaste Sturushabhaya Sattvatam Vidura Kastalya Muhu Kuyoginam. Nirasta Sanya Tishayena Radhasa Swadhamani Brahmani Rangsyate Namaha. Namo namaste Sturushabhaya Sattvatam Vidura Kastaya Muhu Kuyoginam. Nirasta samyatishayena radhasa Sudhamani pramani rangsyate namaha. Namo namaste Strishabhaya Sattvatam Vidurakastaya Muhukuyoginam Nirasta Sanya Tishayena Radhasa Sudhamani Brahmani Rakshate Namaha.
Namo namaste Srishabhaya Sattvatam
Namo namaste Strishabhaya Rajam
Vidurakashtaya Muhukuyoginam Nirasta Samyatishayena Radhasa Vadamani Brahmani Rangshate Namaha.
Namo namaste stu Vrishabhaya Sattvatam Vidura Kashtaya Muhuku Yogina Nirasta Samyati Shayena Radhasa Swadhamani Brahmani Rangsyate Namaha.
Namo namaste stu Rashabhaya Sattvatam Vidura Kastya Muku Yoginam Nirasta Samya Tishayenya Radhasa Swadharmani Brahmani Ramasyate Namaha.
Namo namaste Swarashpaya Sattvatam Vidura Kashtaya Muhuku Yoginam Nirasta Samya Tishayena Radhasa Swadhamani Brahmani Ramsyate Nama.
Namo namaste Srishripaya Sattvatam Vidura Kashtaya Mahuku Yoginam Nirasta Sangya Tishayena Radhasa Swadhamani Brahmani Ramsyate Namaha. Namo namaste Swa Haya Sattvatam Vidura Kashtaya Muhu Kuyoginam Nirasta Samya Tishayena Rathasa Svadamani Brahmani Ramsyate Namaha.
Namo namaste stu Vrishabhaya Sattvatam Vidura Kashtaya Mahukuyoginam Nirasta Samyati Shayena Radasa Swadharmani Brahmani Ramsyate Namaha.
Namo Namaste Stura Shabaya Sattvatam Vidurakastaya Muhu Kuyoginam Nidasta Samyati Sayena Radhasa Swadhamani Brahmani Rangsyate Namaha.
Nama, Namate. Let me offer my obeisances unto you. Astu, R. Rishabhaya, unto the great associate. Sattvatam, of the members of the Yadu dynasty. Viduraka Kastaya, one who is far from mundane wranglers. Muhuhu, always. Kuyogina, of the non-devotees. Nirasta, vanquished. Samya, equal status. Atishayena, by greatness. Radhasa, by opulence. Swadhamani, at his own abode. Brahmani, in the spiritual sky. Rangshyate, enjoys. Namaha, Namaha. Namaha, I bow down. I do bow down. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto he who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty, and who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds, yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There are two sides of the transcendental manifestations of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. For the pure devotees, he is a constant companion, as in the case of his becoming one of the family members of the Yadu dynasty, or his becoming the friend of Arjuna, or his becoming the associate neighbor of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. As the son of Nanda Yashoda, the friend of Sudama, Sridham, and Madhumangala, or the lover of the damsels of Vrajabhumi, etc. That is part of his personal features, and by his impersonal feature he expands the rays of the Brahmajyoti, which is limitless and all-pervasive. Part of this all-pervasive Brahmajyoti, which is compared to the sun rays, is covered by the darkness of the Mahat Tattva, and this insignificant part is known as the material world. In this material world, there are innumerable universes like the one we can experience, and in each of them there are hundreds of thousands of planets like the one we are inhabiting. The mundaners are more or less captivated by the unlimited expansion of the rays of the Lord. But the devotees are concerned more with his personal form, from which everything is emanating. Janmadyasya yataha. As the sun rays are concentrated in the sun disk, the Brahmajyoti is concentrated in Goloka Vrindavan, the topmost spiritual planet in the spiritual sky. The immeasurable spiritual sky is full of spiritual planets, named Vaikunthas, far beyond the material sky. The mundaners have insufficient information of even the mundane sky, so what can they think of the spiritual sky? Therefore, the mundaners are always far, far away from him. Even if in the future they are able to manufacture some machine whose speed may be accelerated to the velocity of the wind or mind, the mundaners will still be unable to imagine reaching the planets in the spiritual sky. So the Lord in his residential abode will always remain a myth or a mystery or a mysterious problem. But for the devotees, the Lord will always be available as an associate. In the spiritual sky, his opulence is immeasurable. The Lord resides in all spiritual planets, the innumerable Vaikuntha planets. By expanding his plenary portions, along with his liberated devotee associates, but the impersonalists who want to merge in the existence of the Lord are allowed to merge as one of the spiritual sparks of the Brahmajyoti. They have no qualifications for becoming associates of the Lord, either in the Vaikuntha planets or in the supreme planet, Goloka Vrindavan, described in the Bhagavad Gita as Madhama, and here in this verse as the Swadhama of the Lord. The Madhama or Swadhama is described in the Bhagavad Gita 15:6 as follows. Natad pasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tatama paramam mama. The Lord's Swadhama does not require any sunlight or moonlight or electricity for illumination. That Dhamma or place is supreme, and whoever goes there never comes back to this material world. The Vaikuntha planets and the Goloka Vrindavan planet are all self-illuminating, and the rays scattered by those Swadhama of the Lord constitute the existence of the Brahmajyoti. As further confirmed in the Vedas like the Mundaka 2.10, Kata 2.2.15, and Svatashvatara Upanishad 6.14. Natatra Suryo Patina Chandra Tarakam Nema Vidyuto Prantikuto Yamagni Tameva Pantam Anupati Sarvam Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vipati. In the Swadhama of the Lord, there is no need of sun, moon, or stars for illumination, nor is there need of electricity, so what to speak of ignited lamps? On the other hand, it is because those planets are self-illuminating that all effulgence has become possible, and whatever there is that, and whatever there is that is dazzling is due to the reflection of the Swadhama. One who is dazzled by the effulgence of the impersonal Brahmajyoti cannot know the personal transcendence. Therefore, in Isha Upanishad 15, it is prayed that the Lord shift his dazzling effulgence so that the devotee can see the real reality. It is spoken thus: Hiranyana patrena satyasya pihitam mukham tatvam pushan Vinu Satya Dharmaya Drishtataye. Quote, O Lord, you are the maintainer of everything, both material and spiritual, and everything flourishes by your mercy. Your devotional service or bhakti yoga is the actual principle of religion, Satya Dharma, and I am engaged in that service. So kindly protect me by showing your real face. Please, therefore, remove the veil of your Brahmajyoti rays so that I can see your form of eternal bliss and knowledge. So, this verse is talking about how Krishna comes as the protector of the devotees and the destroyer of the demons. And this is basically what he comes to do, and to reestablish the principles of religion. He comes to help this world. He's so he's he Mars, would you like to comment on this?
Krishna is like the sun, and sun illuminates everything in the darkness. So Krishna comes, the material world becomes as good as the spiritual world. Because they're both his energies. His internal energy acts as the spiritual world. And sometimes it acts as the material world under the direction of Durga Devi. So Durga is an expansion of Yogamaya. And in the spiritual world, or for the devotees, the internal potency acts to remove all ignorance and darkness. And in the material world, the external energy acts to cover them more and more. Maya. Mahamaya means to be covered by the illusory energy of the Lord and not be able to see Krishna. The non-devotees cannot understand Krishna. It says here he's Viduravasta. Kastaya. He's a problem for the non-devotees because philosophically they cannot prove that he doesn't exist, even though they may try. There's no evidence of his non-existence. Rather, even from indirect logic, it's obvious that a person is the source. So many persons living entities have come, and where they come from, non-devotees cannot say. They put forward the theory that it must come from matter because they think that's all there is. They only see matter. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that for the non-devotees, I'm never manifest. For the fools and unintelligent, they're covered by my eternal creative potency, Yogamaya. That's the material world remains in darkness in the sense that they cannot understand God. And even the speculators who are trying in their own way to find God, and they go on speculating, Pantastu koti shatavatsarasam pragamyo, ayoratapi manaso manipungavanam, sopyasti yat prapajasim yavichanchitate, govinda mari purusham tamam bhajami. Yogis and non-devotees, they may go on speculating or even traveling at the speed of wind or mind for millions of years, and still they won't approach the Lord. He's further away than that. So the speed of mind is very fast. One can think of something 1,000,000 miles away and travel there with his mind. But nevertheless, the Lord is far away. Still, they cannot approach him in that way. He agrees only to be approached by his devotees, not by the non-devotees. He only reveals himself to the devotees. He has that right. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one can understand him unless he gives them the power. Sometimes people argue, no, if I want to understand him, I don't need to get his permission. It's like if I want to understand who's the president of the United States, I don't have to ask his permission. I can just, no, you may get some superficial information, but to really know him personally, he has to agree to let you in and talk, and associate with you. So the non-devotees, they're restricted. They can't go to the spiritual planets. They have to stay in the material world. And still, he's kind to them. He's still merciful. He acts. A reflection of his Brahmajyoti is representative here in the material world as the sun. And the sun is amazing bit of energy, providing so many useful aspects, such as light and heat and ability to help growth and so many things, plants. So everyone should recognize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they can do that by devotional service, hearing about his activities, chanting his holy name, like that.
Thank you, Maharaj. So, yeah, Krishna is like the sun. I was reading yesterday that in order for Krishna to reveal his pastimes and his form and his name, we have to be free of the offenses of the 10 offenses to chanting the holy name, and then the 64 offenses to the deity. So we can see that if we just follow the rules and regulations, we can become qualified to take up this process of devotional service. And devotional service is the best thing because it gives unlimited bliss, it gives unlimited knowledge, and it gives unlimited, eternal life. So why wouldn't one want to take this up? It's a very blissful process, and anyone can take it up. Doesn't have to be someone who's been practicing as a jnani for his whole life or practicing yoga. I remember when I was dabbling with different spiritualities. I tried the Jnani yoga. I tried Ashtanga yoga, but none of them ultimately gave me the same satisfaction that Bhakti yoga gave me. It was amazing because Bhakti yoga it's got so much potency inside of it that when you actually practice it, there's unlimited potential for what could happen. And so in this way we should all practice Bhakti yoga, because Bhakti yoga is what we're all hankering for. I also remember when I was in high school, there was this one time when I was struggling really hard with a math problem. Or no, I was struggling really hard with something in math. And I was able to, with the help of my teacher, I was able to figure out what was going on in the whole how do you say, not math problem, but like what was going on with the math problems. So, and that was honestly one of the most satisfying things in my entire life, other than bhakti yoga, of course. But this knowledge, this being able to figure out figuring out little by little what we're here for and why we're doing what we're doing. This knowledge is what we're really after. The Bhagavatam says that. Oh wait, no. But anyway, yeah, this knowledge is what we're really after, because it lets us figure out what we're doing. So I think that's all I'll speak for today. I'll open it up for questions. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam